Hello, replay crew. How you doing? I had planned this day to cover cold cases from Vermont. And actually, I never hear cases from Vermont. So this is going to be really interesting. So we're going to wait a few minutes to see if we get some people coming in before we start. I'm just going to look up cases in Vermont because I haven't done it. I ended up having to have a work thing I had to go to and didn't think that I would be able to make the live, so I'm glad I did. But like I said, we'll wait and see if someone comes in. Thank you for replaying. It's awesome. I got to tell you, my homeless charity drive, I have picked up so much stuff. But actually, I was just at the vape shop, and there was a young lady out there holding up a cardboard thing, saying, you know, I'm hungry and I'm homeless and stuff like that. I don't ever give them money, but luckily I asked her if she would like a sleeping bag, and she'd love one. And then she also I gave her a bedroll, and I gave her a really nice comforter. And she said, oh, can I sit on that? I said, you could do whatever you like with it, honey. And actually she hugged me, and that was kind of cool. That was really kind of cool. So I think we've got enough sleeping bags and blankets. If you have seen my community post, it's a lot of shit. I guess I'm going to have to try getting help to get other stuff that's needed. I'm hoping people either get the stuff to me, or I can pick up stuff, or people may be able to donate to the charity drive, and I'll be able to go from there. All right, well, let's start with Vermont. I'll get it over here. And you know, I didn't do my homework, so that means I have to do it on screen right now. Damn it. Okay, so yeah, right. So first place I found was the Vermont State Police. And they indeed have missing persons on here. So I think what I'm going to do is just one by one go through these and see if there's a story that to tell that may be able to help viewers find these people, I guess. So we'll start. So this is good because I have really good write-ups. So that's good. I need my glasses for this one, guys. Hey, hold the phone. I can't find my glasses. I can't find my good ones, so these ones will have to do. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so this person is called Ralph Jean-Marie. I don't know if that's backwards. He is a 38-year-old male from Vermont. JB, hi there. On April 15, 2020, the Bar City Police Department received a complaint that Ralph, also known as Riz, has been missing since about 1 a.m. April 13, 2020. It was reported that he had walked away from his hotel room at the Hollow Inn on South Main Street in Vermont. Prior to leaving, he reportedly had a dispute with his significant other and left the hotel wearing only his grey pajama pants. So he was wandering around with only grey pajama pants. Oh no, but he had a grey jacket, a black and grey hat that says King, and black Adidas sneakers. He has several underlying health concerns. So that puts an extra sort of urgency on it, doesn't it? Hey, Grandma. The meeting wasn't too bad. They've got to go away and make their decisions whether I lose my job or not and let me know in another meeting. So I can just have to wait for that. But it wasn't as bad as I thought, so that's good. Now, John Ree was 38 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is described as about 5 foot 10 inches tall, weighing 140 pounds with brown eyes and black hair. Jean Marie left the hotel without his medications, ID, wallet, and eyeglasses. Investigators indicate this is highly suspicious, and most people do not up and leave without taking their essential items. Right? You take your phone, you take your money, you take your ID when you leave. So leaving all those behind, scary. He has ties to Massachusetts and New York, but he has not contacted any family members who advise this is unlike him. The Bar City Police Department believes someone has harmed him and have been proceeding along those lines in investigative case. They want leads or information, and there is a number Bar City Police Department at 802-476-6613. I'll have this along with any sources, any pages in the description box below. In the description box below is ways to find our Facebook page, find our website, and find ways to donate. If you're interested in donating to the charity drive, which I'm doing, that would be really, really lovely. Okay, so we'll go back. This is really cool that they have such write-ups, because a lot of the time you go to places and there's just no write-up at all and you don't know anything about it. So look at this pretty young lady. She went missing 2017. On February 25th, 2017, the Vermont State Police responded to a single vehicle crash on Brook Road near Cameron Road in Plainfield, Vermont. When rescue personnel arrived on scene, they observed the operator and passenger Crystal Bailey walking away from the scene. The driver was located a short time later at the bank of Lower Great Brook after having gone into the water. It is believed that Bailey may have gone into the brook as well. Okay, so these guys are going into the water after a crash. This is a bit weird. Extensive searches of the area were conducted over several days, and a number of personal items belonging to Bailey were found in and along the waterway, and Bailey was not located. That's a bit of a weird one too, isn't it? I don't understand when they say that they're in the water. They say that Crystal was walking away from the scene. But then they think they've gone into the water. I don't know. Disoriented, maybe? Yeah, maybe. That's the only thing I can think of, is that she was disoriented from the crash, maybe. Hit her head, maybe. Something like that. Yeah, how very, very sad. You think, oh, she's just been, her parents might think, oh, she's just been in a car crash, she'll be right, we can take her home, and then she's not there. Good to see you, JB. I know that you must be new, because I don't think I've seen you in here before. Alright, Christopher McCarthy. Here's a good photo. Not a lot of information about this guy, unfortunately. 47-year-old male from Westmore, Vermont. 47-year-old Christopher McCarthy has not had contact with his family since 2 November 2017. It is known what he was wearing when he was last seen. Sorry, it's unknown. Foul play is not suspected at this time, but there are concerns for his welfare. He's one of those people that we think maybe the aliens just come up and just grabbed him, because there's so many people around the world that they've got to be somewhere, right? Sometimes they just like poof and vanish, and you're like, well, where the F could they go? So I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but sometimes I wonder if aliens are taking some people. And I don't mean to say that to be rude. I just can't understand where all these people go. Jonathan Schaff. Oh, this is a young man. 23-year-old from Granville, New York. Jonathan was involved in an altercation at the Riverside Pub in Granville, New York on January 18, 2014 and was last seen leaving the bar on foot at 4:30 in the morning and has not been seen or heard from since. Wow, that's a pretty gnarly time to be leaving a bar on your own, I guess. Jonathan was last seen wearing a light blue hooded sweatshirt, blue jeans, work boots, and a black jacket. He has a spiderweb tattoo between the fingers of his left hand. Oh, hand tattoos hurt, man. I got them. Hurt, man. And on his left hand, and an eagle on his chest. Cell phone data showed that he may have been on Vermont something. They've entered him into NamUs and they remain looking for him. Yeah, that's about as good as we've got. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. JB, leaving a bar by yourself at that hour is pretty vulnerable, and especially if he had been drinking a lot, he could have been inebriated, and yeah, we wouldn't know for sure. I need to get a drink. Let's try the next one. I'll just get a drink, guys. Now I'm happy I got my coffee. Okay, this is an older man. His name is Ronald Labonte, I think. 74-year-old male from Vermont. On September the 26th, 2013, at approximately 4 p.m., the Beecher Falls Fire Department requested the Vermont State Police ask an investigator to respond to a suspicious residential fire on the Canaan Hill Road in the town of Averill that was initially reported on September 26 at 1:22 p.m. Hey Denise, my darling, good to see you. We're going over the Vermont ones today, and I didn't do my homework, Denise, so we're just going over them together. Yeah, drunk, exhausted, bad combination for sure, absolutely. So, through the course of this investigation, detectives learned that the homeowner, Ronald Labonte, aged 74, is suffering from a terminal illness. He was last seen leaving his residence a few hours prior to the fire in his black Ford Ranger pickup truck. Labonte is suspected of intentionally setting the residence on fire. That's interesting. On September 28, his truck was located in the woods across the road from his residence. Detectives were able to focus their search for Labonte in the Canaan Hill area using members of the heaps of other things. Yeah. So that leads you to believe he set the house on fire, which is an odd thing. I don't know that people that try to go missing permanently or whatever set their house on fire. That's a bit different. But it appears, yeah, he set the house on fire, and maybe he was wanting to go and unalive himself somewhere. Who knows? We're only speculating, right? Which is all we can do. Okay. Now let's look at Lynn Perry. She's kind of oldish. She's a 56-year-old female. She was reported missing from Andover, Vermont residence during the overnight hours of 27th, 2015. She suffers from Alzheimer's and was last reported to be wearing blue pajamas and a pink blanket An extensive search of the area surrounding her home met with negative results. Yeah, that one sounds very, very scary. If someone's got dementia, they could be very, very, very vulnerable. Get lost very easily. Could make friends and be very friendly with people she doesn't know. So yeah, that's extremely vulnerable, I think, with this lady, unfortunately. And she hasn't been found, so I expect that she probably went out somewhere and got cold. Yeah, it's hard to say, eh? Paula Weldon. Okay. 18-year-old female. The disappearance of 18-year-old Bennington College student Paula Weldon showed a need for a dedicated agency to investigate missing people, and her case directly led to the 1947 formation of the Vermont State Police. That's quite interesting. Paula was last seen on the afternoon of December 1st, 1946. So this is a real old one. She left the campus that afternoon after telling her roommates she was going for a hike. Several hikers reported seeing her on the trail. She was reported missing by her roommate the following morning after she did not return to campus. An extensive search of the area did not show any signs of her at all. Yeah. That's a long... That might be one of their longest outstanding missing persons from that time, 1946. That's insane. Yeah, it shows you people are been going missing like for years, you know. Even back in 1940s, people were going missing. So it's not a new thing, for sure. Okay. This young man is 17-year-old Marble Arvidson. He was last seen Saturday, August the 27th at 2011 at approximately 1400 hours by his roommate, which is 2 o'clock, who observed him leave with an unknown male that came to the house. They left for an unknown destination and unknown means of travel. So basically, the roommate knew fuck all, pretty much. He left a note on his door stating he was with Gremlin Horde and would be back in 30 minutes. This was not uncommon for Marble to leave notes for his foster family advising he was going. Family describes the Gremlin Horde as Marble's way of letting them know he was going out to party with friends. This is weird. Marble is an avid hiker and reportedly took his hiking boots with him. All of his friends are from Brattleboro, Dover, and Wilmington areas. It may be possible that he is a victim of a tropical storm, Irene, as the major storm hit on the same day Marble was seen. So that's very interesting. Going missing during the middle of a tropical storm. Yeah. Hey Heifer, thank you for stopping by. Hit the like button. Show me some love, lady. It's awesome to have you. JB says if a commercial plane can go missing, a person sure can. Right? See, my alien theory, you know, these people and planes have to be going somewhere. There's been no reported sightings of him at all. So that's quite sad. Young man. All right. Brian Gomez, 49-year-old male. Brian Gomez was reported missing on July 6, 2010 after not being seen since June 10th, 2010. So he was reported missing on July 6 after not being seen since June 10th. Oh, got you. Brian was reported by a neighbour after not seeing him for a few weeks, and after the initial report, his caseworker called for a welfare check as they had not heard from him since June 1st. Brian does have some mental health limitations. no known vehicles, and he moved around hitchhiking. He has family in Springfield, but Brian has not been seen or heard from since he went missing. That's a bit worrying with his mental health limitations, and he had no vehicle, and maybe hitchhiking, and we know that hitchhiking isn't exactly the safest, right? Crazy. Spell check always acts up. I end up saying some weird shit in my texts sometime. Like, it looks like I've had a stroke. Some of the shit that comes out. So I know what you're talking about. Is there any big stories in the news that we need to look at? I don't think I've missed anything. I don't think much is happening. We've got Robert Hughes. He's 59. Robert Hughes was last seen on August 17th, 2008 at approximately 3 o'clock, leaving his home in Williamsville, Vermont for a business trip to Provincetown. It's MA, Massachusetts. On August 22, 2008, Hughes' wife received an envelope by the Postal Service with letters to his family indicating that he was planning to commit harry-carry in the White Mountains. State police located his vehicle at the location that the letters said, along with Fish and Wildlife conducted an extensive search of the area with negative results. Since this disappearance, there's been no activity on his cell phone, credit cards, or bank accounts, and foul play is not suspected. So what I hear from this is I think he was going away to unalive himself. The funny thing is, when they do that, you think that the bodies would be found of them. I mean, where are you going to go and do it? Your body's going to be there, unless you just find somewhere that no one is ever going to search. I don't know, just weird. It's sad enough that people seem to disappear. Even sadder is nobody noticing for a few weeks, right? Absolutely. I don't know. It would probably take a week or so for anyone to notice me, because I'm quite an introvert, and I'm home all the time, and yeah. If I went missing, I'd become isolated, so no one would notice anything. True that. Well, I'm too fat and ugly for anyone to kidnap me or want to arm me, so I'm cool with that. Okay. Is there any more? Okay, there's some more. Jeffrey Bowen, 43. Jeffrey Bowen was reported missing on October 7th, 2004. He was last seen at his residence in Wilder, Vermont. He was reported missing by his daughter after she was told to do so by probation and parole. PMP has a warrant out for him. Bowen's roommate last saw him on Saturday, October 2. So yeah, we've got the roommates see him on October the 2nd, but he's not recorded missing until October the 7th. He was taking his tools to go to work on his niece's vehicle. His niece claimed that when she arrived at his home to pick him up, he was not there and she left. His daughter states that this is highly unusual for him not to keep in contact with her if or when he is in trouble. So, don't know whether that's he's done a runner because he probation and parole on to him, but it doesn't seem like he's that type of person. He his niece is quite worried. It's not like him. At most, maybe 24 hours to realise I'm gone. I'm a homebody that only goes out when I have to. Yeah, me too. I don't live alone. That's why I said 24 hours. Got ya. I live alone. I love living alone. Mark Lenny Candelario. Okay. 23-year-old female. She is originally from New York, but was living at the Sugar House Motel in New Haven after fleeing New York due to numerous domestic incidents. She fled with her 2 small children, a 2-year-old and a 14-month-old child. She left her 14-month-old with some people that she met in Vermont and took her 2-year-old to New York with her to drop him off at his father's. She and her son were dropped off at the Burlington International Airport at the JetBlue terminal and was to be gone for only the day. So she did drop her 2-year-old at his father's in the Bronx, and he was told that she was going to the Dominican embassy to get an issue with her passport corrected. Okay, so she escaped New York with her 2 kids, a 2-year-old and a 14-month-old, I think she said. She left the 14-month-old with some people that she knew or met, and then she flew back to New York to drop her son off at the dad's. And she said it was because she was going to the Dominican embassy to get an issue with her passport corrected. I don't know why she couldn't take her kids to get that done. Yeah, it seems a bit weird. Now, her backpack was found on a bus terminal platform in MA. Is that Massachusetts, guys? On September 22nd, 2011. A relative also reported that she contacted her and stated that she was being held in New York against her will. She has some mental health issues and is required to take medication to assist with this. She was actually last seen in the Bronx, New York by the father of her oldest child. Okay. Hey, darling. Yeah, things went okay today. They didn't tell me I'd lost my job. They just said they're going to have another meeting about it, so I have to go to another meeting. Denise, well, all my biological family has passed and my man got murdered, so it's just me and my friends. Didn't know what to say, so they stopped coming around. Oh, bless you. March 24th will be a year for justice. Cool. Does all of us wrong. Thanks, Queen Bella. Good to see you. Yeah, it is Massachusetts. Thanks, guys. I had a feeling it was. She contacted someone, a relative, and stated that she was being held in New York against her will. Very, very scary if that's the case. We can't tell what sort of has happened from there. I'm sorry, I'm sure you don't need that added anxiety waiting on their meeting. Yeah, I'm trying to just focus on other things I'm doing. I'm trying to focus on building my YouTube channel and focus on getting the stuff for the charity drive that I'm doing, which is really important to me. So I'm hoping if I just stick with those things, keep my mind active, yeah. My man died a hero in my eyes. He stopped a serial killer in the making. Oh, bless. You guys are so bloody nice. Can't stand it. It's freaking amazing. Freaking amazing. Alright, let's take a look at Mark Husk. No photo, which is not very helpful, is it? Oh, there it goes. So he was 50 years old from Vermont. He was reported missing on November 5, 2003, but was last known to be seen on October the 11th, 2003 at his residence. So here we go, another one where he was missing since November 5th, but nobody... Oh, no. Yeah, he was reported on November 5th, but he had last known to be seen on... Oh, fuck. Anywho, family has described Mark as being despondent prior to his disappearance. It is also noted that he kept to himself and did not always maintain contact with his family on a regular basis. Mark is an avid outdoorsman and has been known to travel through the country for extended periods of time by himself. So I guess there is that fear that nothing has happened to this guy, that he's actually just, you know. Yes, absolutely. I'm always around to chat if you need to. Oh, thank you, darling. Where the hell would I find you if I wanted to chat with you? Do you have a channel or an email address? I can't talk today. I can't think today, I tell you. I'm having the serious brain farts. Serious brain farts. Okay, now the page is just having a fit because I can. Okay. J. Mosselski. There is no photo. He purchased a handgun before he went missing. It was reported that he was wanting to unalive himself. His vehicle was located on the day he was reported missing, and he hasn't been since. So I guess you could sort of tell what's going on with that one. Heidi. Oh, now she's pretty. 16-year-old Heidi was in the custody of state Vermont at the time of her disappearance. Heidi was living with a foster family in the Rutland area, but received a weekend pass to visit with her biological family in Middleton Springs, Vermont, over the time she went missing. She was last seen by a family member at their residence in Middletown Springs. Authorities believe that she left on her own accord and has not been seen since. Heidi's family believes that she moved to Florida and has been living there for years. A family member has also reported that they believe they saw her at Disney on vacation. Over the years, there have been reports of her living in the state of Florida, but nothing has been confirmed. As recently as the spring of 2012, information was found that she may have been arrested in the state of Florida. Okay, so I'm betting this lady's probably in Florida. So, Heidi, I think her name's Heidi. What was it? Yes. Contact your biological family and your foster family and just let them know you're alive, love. That's all you need to do. Or the police, let them know you're alive and you're kicking it in Florida. October for what? Take 3 deep breaths and you'll be okay. Yeah, I guess I'm a little anxious after that meeting today. Yeah, but I'm doing all right. Okay, Quack Pension. With no photo, unfortunately. He walks with a limp, has a hunchback. It was also reported that approximately $9,000 on him when he went missing. Okay, there's just nothing. We can't really get anything out of it. He had $9,000. He could have gone and set up somewhere else, right? 16s, hello, darling. Unable to stay Che, got to get back to work. That's all right. Thanks for popping in. I must tell you, 16th, I was able to give out my first sleeping bag and that today to a homeless person. So I'm really cool about that, happy about that. But if you can't say, that's fine. You message me on Facebook. Cool, sweet as. I will take a look at that. William Metcalf, again, no photo and no information. I don't know what they think we're supposed to do with no information. Again, there's nothing we can do. This is Catherine Bigelow. She's been missing since 1984. Another one, Patricia. She's been missing since 1981. Edwin, 43, and again. Might have to go and find a different... Okay, no, this still has more. Are you still guys still cool if I just go down and look at these missing persons in Vermont? If there's nothing else you want to talk about in the media at this time or anything like that, we can do that. I don't mind. You just need to let me know. All right, Perry Edmonds. Okay, we don't have a photo, but he was 18. He was last seen on July the 16th, 1976, and was reported missing on July 21st. It was reported that Perry was involved in a motor vehicle crash on July 16th. Afterwards, he reportedly attended a concert in New York and has not been seen or heard from since. In 2000, information was received that Perry may have been a victim of foul play, but nothing has been confirmed. Sad. Where do they all go? Up to the mothership? These people have got to be somewhere. Alright, let's have a look at a couple more. This is Lynn. She was 18 years old. Lynn was last seen on the Middlebury College campus on December 10, 1971, as she was walking with friends to take an exam. She stated that she needed to run back to her dorm room to get something and has not been seen since. That's a bit weird, eh? When her friends went to her dorm room, they noticed all of her belongings and wallet was still there. There were unconfirmed sightings that she had been in Connecticut, that Simsbury, Connecticut native, was seen hitchhiking on Route 7 southbound but was never confirmed. At one time, it was rumoured that she had indicated to a friend in the fall of 1971 that she had considered dropping out of society and starting anew. More than 35 years later, her family has heard nothing. It seems likely that she may have been a victim of foul play. It kind of does. She did say she indicated that she'd like to drop out of society. But if you want to drop out of society, you need a few things. You still need your driver's license. You still need money. And all those things she left behind, right? So she's not going to be able to go very far if she doesn't take any stuff with her. Very sad. I need to take this, guys. I'm getting mouth mush. Okay. This young guy is 31-year-old Russ was reported missing by friends after not showing up to a scheduled appointment to purchase a property on May the 11th, 1986. Russ was last seen by two friends on his dairy farm in Vermont, Last Resort Farm, on the evening of May 6, 1986, and was not reported missing until May the 11th, so a few days there. His vehicle, a light blue 1974 Renault, was found stuck in the mud 4 miles from his residence, and it did not appear that an effort was made to remove it. Blood was located in the trunk and passenger side of the car, as well as on Russ's mattress. Tests determined that the blood was from the same person. A convicted murderer, Garth Drew, told investigators that his body was placed in a U-Haul trailer and dumped in Lake Willoughby. Investigators searched the lake but did not find any evidence of this. It was believed that Russ was murdered, but robbery was not a factor. His parents hired private investigators, and it is believed that he was murdered by a man that died 3 months later and drugs were involved. It should be noted that Russ reportedly did not use drugs or alcohol. Okay, poor guy. Okay, so his truck gets stuck in mud and he can't get it out, but then we have the blood located in the trunk and in the passenger seat. It doesn't look good for this guy, unfortunately. Foul play looks like has been what happened. Very sad. Very sad. Let's look at William. No photo. He was reported missing on November 11th, 1977 by his mum, who lived in Ohio. William, lives in Vermont, and evidence indicates that he may have been murdered. There have been numerous unidentified bodies throughout the years, but none have proven to be his. Interesting. I think the aliens took him. Poof. Just vanished. Those damn aliens. Bill and Lorraine Courier. Oh, okay. 50-year-old male and 50-year-old female husband and wife. Bill and Lorraine were last seen on the evening of June 8th, 2011 at their residence in Essex, Vermont. They were reported missing by family members after neither of them showed up to work the following day. This is a bit different with two people, isn't it? Evidence at the residence suggested they did not leave voluntarily. Oh. An intense investigation followed with few leads until the arrest of a possible suspect in Alaska named Israel Keys. And if you're in true crime, you may have heard that name. Keys has been charged in Alaska for the kidnapping and murder of an 18-year-old from Anchorage, Alaska. In July 2012, a press conference was held to inform the public of the new developments. Their murders were a random act of violence that occurred in our community. There is nothing they did in their personal lives that contributed to their deaths. While Keys was being questioned about the Alaska murder, he told investigators where they could find the bodies of the missing couple. He had been charged with murder of the Couriers at the time of his death. The bodies have not been located. That must be really hard when you have a perpetrator admitting that he was the one that made them disappear and unalived, but won't tell you where the body is. I think that's really, really tough, because that's such a really important thing that families want. They want to bring those bodies home. They want to bring them home so they can bury them with some dignity, bury them together, and that the family have a place to go and grieve. Yeah, very, very sad. Okay, this is a 77-year-old lady from Vermont. Mary was reported missing in 2006 by her daughter, who she lived with in Westford, Vermont at the time. It was reported that Mary was suicidal and had made comments that she wanted to return to Pennsylvania and may have called a taxi to take her there. So tell me, guys, how close is Vermont to, what did she say, Pennsylvania? Are they like next to each other states, or like way away each other states? In 2009, the state police learned through the investigation that Mary Wilcox's daughter is responsible for her mum's death. It is believed that Mary, her daughter, burned her mother's body on her property in an attempt to conceal the death. The remains were then reportedly given to Mary Cox's grandson for disposal. He is believed to have buried his grandma's remains in a wooded area in Westford, Vermont. Mary Wilcox's daughter has reported her mother missing on November 10th. The search for her remains is ongoing. How bad is that, to bury your mum and your kid's grandma? That's awful. That's bloody awful. Bloody awful, I say. You guys doing alright? Making sure you're doing okay. Because no one's talking, but everyone's watching. Okay. Let's look at Donald Messier. He's messy. He is a 34-year-old male missing from Vermont. Donald, 34, of Waterbury, was reported missing by family members on October 18th, 2006, after he was last seen in the early morning hours of October 15th, 2006, at a party in Waitsfield, Vermont. Queen Bella says she's, yep, got your crackers and dip. Awesome. Yeah, it was sick. It was awful. Donald did not show up to work on that following Monday or make any contact with friends or family since the day in October. Family reported that Donald was depressed and probably the S word, unfortunately. His vehicle, a red Ford 150, in October 22, searchers with a private organisation discovered his vehicle submerged in the Winooski River. The vehicle was recovered, although no definitive sign of him was located, and he remains listed as a missing person. Okay, so the car went into the river, but he wasn't in it. That's a bit weird. That's very, very weird. And it looks like he was wanting possibly to unalive himself. He had those thoughts. Wouldn't you stay in the car then? I don't know. You just don't know what's going on in the minds of people, right? Michael Dumont. Okay, so this guy is 50 years old. He was last seen by family members on the evening of November 21st, 2004, when he received a phone call and told the family that he had to leave to meet someone. Michael did not return that night and has not been heard or seen since the evening of November 24. No other info. So he's one of those ones that the aliens probably come and took because he was going out to meet someone and just vanished. I think the aliens got him on this one. Just saying. I'm not trying to make light of missing persons. Hello, darling. Have you come to be my co-host? It's about time, isn't it? Hey, it's about time. Hey. You're supposed to be my co-host. And you keep going away. Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not making light of missing people at all. I'm just, yeah, I just wonder where they go, right? This is Perry Matheson. He is 51. He was reported missing on September the 3rd, 1993, by his brother George, who he shared a residence with. Perry left the residence on that morning in his 1989 Toyota Corolla. The vehicle later was located in a national forest. The vehicle had been set on fire. A search of the area did not locate Perry. So that's a bit of an odd one, isn't it? Hello, my baby. Hello. I don't know how to get you in. Oh, look, there he is. There he is. People can actually see you. Hey? Since you're my co-host. Alright, look at this one. It's hard to know when there's hardly any information. Exactly. It just leaves you wondering what on earth could happen, right? Okay, so this is a 24-year-old male from Vermont, Craig Alexander. He was reported missing in January of 1985 when he was returning to college in Vermont. He is originally from Berlin, NH. Craig's vehicle was located in Burlington, and his disappearance has always been considered involuntary, and there's no more developments. It's just gone. It's just poof, poof, poof. Isn't he handsome? See? Everybody thinks you're handsome. That's why you're my good co-host. Yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. Love me, mummy. Love me. Touch me, mummy. Alright, you want to feed or not? You haven't decided? Wilfred. Okay, this is an old one. This is 37-year-old male, Wilfred. He was reported missing on October 24th, 1980, and is suspected that he is a victim of homicide. Wilfred was last seen by his father at his residence in Essex. Wilfred was estranged from his wife, and after an automobile accident that occurred a few years prior, needed crutches to stay mobile. Wilfred's blood-stained crutches were located in the woods in the town of Colchester by hunters on the day he was reported missing. 2 weeks later, his burned-out blazer was found in a gravel pit. Multiple interviews have taken place over the years with family and friends, but no arrests have been made, nor has his body been located. That one screams of foul play. Absolutely screams of foul play. So sad. Are you helping me run the show? Are you helping me run the show? Yeah, because you're my co-host, buddy. Glad you come along. Okay, Celinda. This is a different name. Okay, this young lady, Celinda, was just 17. Celinda Jean was last seen at her family's residence in Burlington in March 1979. Celinda left home to visit a friend and never returned. Prior to her disappearance, she had fallen to a bad crowd and was involved with drugs, unfortunately. The Winnegan family, particularly Celinda, were receiving threatening phone calls until they got an unlisted phone number. So that's very interesting. Why were they getting threatened phone calls? After her disappearance, the family received an anonymous phone call stating that she was murdered and dumped in the river. This was never verified. There have been various sightings to include a family member believing that she was seen standing at her father's funeral in 1981, but none of these sightings have been confirmed. Celinda is the youngest of 6 children, with the closet in age being 13 years her senior. Oh no, start again. Celinda is the youngest of 6 children, with the closest in age being 13 years her senior. Celinda may also go by Cindy. There have been no recent reports or communications concerning her. I've got mouth mush today really bad. Because of the content and what I am reading today, like the murdered words and the unalive words and all this live is not going to be able to be monetized. So if any of yous come in, or your replay could come in and you can support the channel, that would be amazing. Or support the charity drive. That would be cool. Where are you going? You're supposed to be here, being my co-host. What are you doing? Oh my god. It's not very reliable. Okay, this is Iris, 28. Iris was last seen leaving her apartment in Burlington in March 1976 with William Posey. Posey has recently been released from a federal penitentiary in Connecticut, where Brown's boyfriend, Martin Gold, was also incarcerated. Okay. She had recently been released. No, not her. So the boyfriend had recently been released from jail, and a friend was also. After Posey told Iris that Gold was being released early and needed a ride, look at my cat. Iris agreed to go with Posey and left with him later that same day. He was convicted of the kidnapping of Iris in 1981, but not murder. Since Brown's body has not been found, and was sentenced to life in prison. Although blood to be believed to be Iris's was found in his car after her disappearance, police had no proof of what happened to her. Posey confessed to the killing in 2008. He initially claimed to have driven Brown to Springfield, Massachusetts. Now maintains he never left Vermont and may not have driven much beyond. Look, you've been a dick. Behave yourself. Bloody co-hosts, eh? Just can't trust them. So Posey, who initially claimed to have driven Brown to Springfield, now maintains he never left Vermont and may not have driven much beyond bar the last place he was seen the night Brown disappeared. And again, there have been no further information. How are you guys going? I hope you replay crew are doing good. I really appreciate. Look, look, when you see that, you can see my 4 chins or my 4 neck rolls. Well, maybe I can fix that now since the co-host just went and left me. God, you've got to rely on Cat to be a co-host. It doesn't always work out. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Oh dear. I need a puff for this one. And a mint. So, we're looking at Grace M and Grace Reap. 32-year-old female and 5-year-old female mother and daughter. On June 7th, 1978, Grace and her daughter Gracie disappeared from their residence in Jericho, leaving a note stating that they do not plan to return. Grace's 2 other children, Brian and Patrick, were attending elementary school at the time of the disappearance. June 11th, 1978, Michael Reap reports that his wife and daughter were missing to the Vermont State Police after his sister-in-law called and asked to speak with her sister, and he tells her she is not there. So, they went missing on June the 7th, and the husband didn't let them know that they were missing till June the 11th, and that's only because the sister rang up to talk to her. So what, was he not going to report her missing? But was made to because a relative rang. 10 days after his initial report of his wife and daughter's disappearance, he files divorce from Grace on grounds of desertion and intolerable severity. I join you in the numerous chins club. I'm glad I'm not alone. Done cooking? Yeah, I'm gonna, once I get off here, get some food in me. Throughout the 34 years, the Vermont State Police, with assistance from the FBI's Evidence Response Team, have conducted multiple searches of the Jericho property, but have not found any evidence of either Grace or Gracie. In October 96, WPTZ alerts Reap, who is now living in Florida, that the Vermont State Police are once again searching the property in Jericho. On November 13th, 1996, Reap's son reported his father missing from his home in Jupiter, Florida. Okay, so we have the mum and the daughter going missing in Vermont. And then now we've got the dad going missing in Florida. Seems a bit weird. There's not been any information on Michael Reap's whereabouts since that time. This is like a conspiracy theory, this one. In 2006, after 28 years, the state of Vermont issued an arrest warrant for Michael in the death of Grace and Gracie. One count of first-degree murder and 1 count of second-degree murder. So, even though he's missing, they've still put that charge out there. On June 7th, 2012, the 34th anniversary of this case, The Vermont State Police received information that Michael Reap was located in Arizona and had been deceased since January 1997. He was involved in an armed carjacking in Arizona and ran from the police. When law enforcement got close, Michael shot himself. He'd been listed as John Doe. Verification of his identity was confirmed through fingerprints and photos. The whereabouts of Grace and Gracie's bodies have not been determined. Oh dear, that's really, really sad. Hey, Kaleidoscope, good to see you. JB, you're also cooking? Yeah, I'll be getting on cooking. So it kind of seems a bit clear here that the dad, Michael, could have been or allegedly was involved in the disappearance of his wife and daughter, and then he gets reported missing, and then find out he's actually deceased by unaliving himself when surrounded by the police. So that's pretty crazy. I make her a bowl of rice with eggs. You make it for your neighbour, for the neighbour. That's so cool. Let's see what else we've got. His secrets did die with him. And that's really sad, like, for the relatives, because they're never going to know. They're going to know that they're never, ever going to find the bodies because he's gone and he's not going to tell them. My co-host is back. Hi, Ronnie. Okay. Audrey Grote was a 41-year-old female. After a day of shopping with a friend in Burlington, Vermont, Audrey was reportedly dropped off at her vehicle at the Park and Ride near Exit 8. Her car was later located parked in the same location, and her purse was located in nearby bushes. Various searches have been conducted throughout the years in a number of areas near where Audrey had been seen, but no new evidence was ever found. Reports that human bones were discovered in May 2012 at a construction site near where Audrey may have been led to additional search of the area. The remains found appeared to be over 50 years old and does not appear that they are those. And I'm sure if it was that, like, they would tell us. No further leads. It doesn't sound good for her. His brother had an accident, and between work and hospital, all I got is rice and eggs to feed on. Oh, that's so nice of you, darling. That's so good. I love people that just do things for the love of it, or you know, volunteer. I love volunteering and helping people out. Why is this doing this? Don't do that, Paige. Come back. Paige, come back. Oh, there it is. Oh, now this is a story we've heard before. If you're a true crime junkie like me, you may have heard this name before. Brianna Maitland. Have you heard that name before? She eats in the morning and the night. As I read this, you'll probably realize what it is. Brianna was last seen on the evening of March 19th, 2004, at her place of employment, the Black Lantern Inn, located in Montgomery, Vermont. She was last seen leaving in her 1985 Oldsmobile 88, which was later located backed into an abandoned building about 1 mile from the restaurant. It was first believed that Brianna had run away, but later was determined that she may have been a victim of foul play. And I think, and don't quote me, and it's all alleged, I'm pretty sure that the cops were trying to tell her, oh no, she's just run away, she'll be back, don't worry, all that guff that they do. So I don't know if they were looking for her straight away. There have been multiple leads followed up on throughout the years, but none have been able to locate Brianna. In 2012, a cable channel investigation, Discovery, played my favourite program, Disappeared, and highlighted her case. 17-year-old Brianna Maitland found life on her parents' remote farm boring. So in the fall of 24, she transferred high schools to be with her friends. But after a short while, Brianna dropped out and couch surfed with help from friends and boyfriends. With no consistent place to sleep each night, it took 4 days for her family to realize she had gone missing. After numerous searches and an extensive investigation, the Maitlands are left to wonder what really happened to their daughter. Police believe it all points to foul play, while others speculate that the teen was taken. But by whom? This could be human trafficking in my mind. The Vermont police, along with the Maitland family, cannot emphasize the importance of anyone coming forward with information. Vermont State Police are offering a reward of up to $5,000 for information leading to the resolution of this case, or information leading to the arrest and conviction of the persons responsible. It says that the Maitland family have got a Facebook page, so we'll have a look. When it loads, that is. Come on. Okay, so this is Brianna Maitland missing family page. 2/21, 2/19. It appears that it hasn't been used for a while. This last post was in October 22, which was only last year, I guess. So, yeah. Kaleidoscope. You're in such a weird mood today, so you'll just sit and watch. That's fine, honey. You sit and watch. No worries. Look, I don't have... Just give me a minute. I'm just looking up this YouTube thing I'm supposed to do. Just give me a second, everybody. Cool on those things. Look, there's no other... Denise, do you want to be a mod? Let me know. Yeah, I remember this case actually. I seen the Disappeared program on it, and yeah, I've heard of this. It's quite a case that has been covered quite a lot, and it's really, really weird. Okay. Oh, is that it? Oh, that might be it. But I'm going to Google missing persons or unsolved in Vermont. Let's see how that goes. Okay, we'll try this. This is called Uncovered. Wow. Look at this. These people have got a hell thing going on here. Wow. This is amazing. All right. Let me have a look. Cold cases. Oh, look at them all. Oh my God. This one here everybody should know, Aisha Degree. A 9-year-old leaves her house in the middle of the night and disappeared. Wow, yeah, we miss her. Yeah, I hope you feel better, Kaleidoscope. Oh, go away. I'm just wondering if you click, if we get more information. Oh my God, we do. Okay, so we'll continue if you like, guys. Denise, let me know if you want to be a mod. So this is Rachel Nicole Good. She was in Rockingham County, Vermont, October 18th. On October 8th, 2003, Rachel was last seen with friends in the parking lot behind the Elkton Volunteer Fire Department near the coin laundry at around 6 p.m. Her friends saw her drive away in her Dodge Neon as it got dark, but she has not been heard from since. Her car was found parked at her home on Virginia Avenue in Elkton. Okay, so she made it home, obviously. At the time of her disappearance, she was romantically involved with a married Elkton police officer. Queen Bella, do you want to be a mod? At the time of disappearance, of police officer Adam Williams, and he is believed to be the father of her unborn child. He was in charge of the initial investigation into her case, but was placed on paid administration leave and resigned from the force in January 2004. Rachel's family sued Williams in a wrongful death case. Williams argued that the statute of limitations had expired and that the lawsuit fails to state a claim of the wrongful act. The lawsuit, which seeks $50,000 in damages, was filed in 2017, 6 months after her estate dropped its first wrongful death lawsuit due to a battle with the Virginia State Police. Police also want to speak with the driver of a red truck that was seen near Rachel's home around noon on October 19th. The day after her disappearance. In September 2004, a special grand jury was assembled to investigate Rachel's case, but no indictments were issued. Authorities do not believe she left Elkton voluntarily and believe she was murdered. However, there is little evidence in her case, and investigators do not believe they can prosecute anyone until her body is found. Rachel graduated from Fort Defiance High School and has 3 children. So this lady left 3 kids. So date of missing, October 18th, 2003 at 20. Blonde, 5'4", 180 pounds, and an unborn child, it seems, to this cop. Right. Queen Bella, do you want to be a mod? Just let me know. I might only be able to do one more story because I'm running out of speech. I'm struggling with words today, I tell you. We went there before, didn't we? Take me back, cold cases. All right. If I scroll down, I found it. Oh my God, I'm such a dick. Oh, I just thought you could take a break, Kaleidoscope, and not have to. Now, this is one I've heard of before. Chance Engelbert. I think I've heard of this name. Chance Engelbert was a 25-year-old husband and father who had recently taken a new job in Wyoming before he disappeared from a family gathering on July 6, 2019. A native of Edgemont, South Dakota, Chance competed in rodeo competitions in high school and attended community college in Cheyenne, Wyoming, where he studied welding and diesel machines. And that's all we've got. Oh, that didn't bloody help, did it? That didn't help much. Alright, let's try one or two more. Trying to find one maybe that's recent. I mean, but there's just so many, I don't know. Let's try this one. Okay, are you ready for this one, guys? Because this is a bit of a long one. And I think after this long one, I might disappear. Alright, so this is Tabitha Lynn Franklin. It's just an empty feeling of not knowing where your mum is and not knowing what happened to her, Hannah Franklin, which is her daughter, has said. Tabitha Franklin, a young mum of 3, vanished from Cullman County without any obvious traces on August 13, 2009. The last person reported to have seen her was an ex-boyfriend, Chris Poore. According to family members, Tabitha has struggled with drug addiction in the years prior to her disappearance, but she was a loving and dedicated mother who maintained regular contact with her children. When days went by without her family or children receiving any calls from her, they knew something was wrong. At some point prior to her disappearance, Tabitha began seeing a man by the name of Chris Poore, and according to her family, the relationship was fraught with physical abuse. In an interview with Blog Talk Radio, Tabitha's sister-in-law Stacey recounted one such instance when an argument between Tabitha and Chris turned physical while the couple was in Michigan. And Stacey stated the injuries were so severe that Tabitha passed out. So domestic violence, that's that bad, huh? According to Stacey, Tabitha immediately returned to her family in Cullman County and filed a report with the sheriff's office, but the charges were later dropped after Tabitha began receiving threats against her family. That sucks. That sucks if you want to go. I mean, for any people that go through something and they want to, get these assholes and get justice for assault, but then you start getting threatening messages from your family. That's got to just worry you. On the evening of August 13, 2009, Tabitha was reportedly last seen wearing a black dress and waiting for a ride outside a home located at Vermont. According to her family, Tabitha had been living at the home with Keith Floyd. Okay, so she's living with, doesn't say whether it's a flatmate or anything yet. Chris admitted to investigators he picked Tabitha up. He claimed he dropped her off at his place of business in Hueytown while he ran errands, and that she was gone when he returned. However, later media reports claim Tabitha never made it to Hueytown at all. Tabitha's family have remained dedicated in their efforts to locate her and have hosted several vigils and events to raise awareness, along with organising numerous searches. Those searches led to a 2011 search of the lake, Smith Lake, after locals began reporting clothing appearing around the time of Tabitha's disappearance. You might find a bikini where someone was partying a little too hard, but this was more of a wardrobe. This is somebody's dresser drawer full of clothes, all the right size, all the same size. Interesting. In subsequent years, additional searches have taken place, including the excavation of a property's front porch, a search of a property on Mulga Loop Road, a trip to Illinois to question several people related to Tabitha's disappearance in 2016. While current Coleman County Sheriff Matt Gentry would not identify who the interviews were with. He stated they were related to a person of interest who had been questioned in 2009 but fled the area after questioning. So, this person that they're talking about, they'd already tried to question him, and as soon as they finished, he took off, which sounds a bit suspicious, you know what I mean? Yeah. According to Sheriff Gentry, Coleman Sheriff's Office had conducted 14 searches across multiple counties between 2015 and 2016 with the assistance of multiple agencies. The search for Tabitha continues today, and her now grown children continue advocating for their mum. I feel like they've given up, like they're not even trying. They're not looking for leads, they're not doing anything about it. We have nothing to remind us of her or anything, said her son, which is just so damn sad. So damn sad. The Chance Engelbert case is worth a deeper look. Yeah, definitely. I might actually write that down, because I'm sure I've heard that before. In the true crime world, Chance Engelbert. I'm not going to do it today because I can't talk much more. So, yeah, I'm going to end it. So, thank you for coming and listening to me waffle for a while. Thanks, Kaleidoscope and Denise. Queen Bella, thank you, darling. I appreciate it. JB, thank you for coming in. You're new. It was good to have you here. Queen Bella, Sixth Sense Amelia popped in earlier. So thank you very much, honey, for doing that as well. All right, so yeah, if you want to follow the links down in the description box, I'll put the sources to this. I will put the links to the Facebook page, website, my email, and I like my email if you want to give me cases to look up. That's cool. I can do that. And there's ways to donate either to me to help me keep going, or to the charity drive for the homeless I am doing. Just let me know if that's something you want to do. And my co-host is going to sleep too, so, you know. Alright, guys, I'll see you later. Tomorrow I won't be on because my son is taking me out for lunch for St. Paddy's Day. Woohoo! So I'm looking forward to that. Next day would be Saturday, and I will be here same time, same place. Oh, hang on. Before you go, we've got to spin the wheel. How could I forget that? Alright, hang on. I'll try and get you onto the wheel. Hang on. Don't go anywhere. Where's my wheel? Hang on. Where's my wheel? I'm having problems. Where's my wheel? Okay, right. For some reason, sign in with Google. That's not my wheel. My wheel don't look like that, man. I want my wheel. Oh my god. Hang on. Yay, I found it. Oop, there we are. Okay, so we are going to spin the wheel and see. We are going to look for cold cases next. So let's see where it ends up. North Carolina. Woohoo! Okay, so North Carolina is going to be on Saturday. I'll try and do some research and some homework before then. If you have any cases you know in North Carolina that you want me to talk about, let me know. Okay, darlings, I love yous. I will see you later.